this is what's so crazy. Like, even as I stand here, like, I can't believe I'm in Columbus, Ohio. Like, I can't believe I'm with Lewis Howes. Like, I can't believe I'm with the Summit of Greatness. Like, guys, I was just homeless. Like, I was just literally sleeping in abandoned buildings. I was literally just thinking about committing suicide, right? And so what happened was, I was introduced, I was probably about 16, almost 17, and I was introduced to a pastor. A friend of mine took me to church with him. And it was the oddest thing. I went to church maybe about 3 or 4 times, and I didn't grow up in church, so I wasn't really there for like the religious aspect of it, but this was my best friend, and this is where he went regularly, right? And I loved it. It kind of reminds me of this summit. You know, it was a lot of positive people, right? First time in my life being in an environment with just positivity, right? They would sing and the pastor would speak and we'd have a dinner after every church service. I think that's probably why I went, because it was like a meal, really. You know what I'm saying? When you homeless and you're a high school dropout and you eating out of trash can, like a hot meal is just unbelievable, right? That's why I'm gonna fool you to this day, right? And so, but I'll never forget, he would say to me, you know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks into going regularly, you know, he said to me, kid, what are you doing with your life? And I'm like, what does that mean exactly? He was like, well, what's your goals? What's your dreams? I was like, I don't have any goals, any dreams. Like, my biological father wasn't in my life. My mom got pregnant with me at 17 years old. Like, I don't come from what we call like the Ola Mills experience. You know, I'm not like, you know, my great grandfather, a picture with my grandfather, and then my father and me. Like, I don't know what I want to do. And I remember maybe about the 2nd month of coming to church, he would say to me, he'd say, you know what? You need to get your GED and you need to go to college. And I was like, what? Like, don't you know I'm living in abandoned buildings. Like, I'm working at McDonald's and I'm eating McDonald's. Like my mother is 17 when she had me. She didn't finish she barely finished high school. She didn't go to college. My grandma had 14 kids. None of them went to college. Like, we don't do college. You know, and it was just so weird. This is why you need to be in this type of environment, because this environment activates and give you permission to do. I'm sorry, I get excited because I'm not supposed to be on this stage. Listen to me, I was literally homeless. I was coming to church, not really taking showers. I wasn't brushing my teeth. And this guy looked at me and said, you need to get your GED. You need to leave Detroit. I'm gonna send you to college because greatness is upon you. Guys, that's why this environment is so important, because what he did was he allowed me to see who I was before I could really see who I was. And he saw, guys, we just buried him about 4 weeks ago. And he saw something in me. Like everybody in the world now says, like, yo, E.T., I watch your video and this happened and that happened. And E.T., you know, I get inspired. I was 16, 17 years old. I had never spoken a day in my life, and this guy saw it. Like, he saw something in me that I didn't see, and he gave me permission to be where other people said I couldn't be. He gave me permission to believe I was great. He gave me permission to think I could change the world. He gave me permission to start something that had never started in my family before. He gave me permission to say, I am. Yeah, I might be different, but I am brilliant. Yep, I might be loud, but I am special. He gave me permission. And so the first thing I want you to do today is I want you to keep saying to yourself, I am, I am, I am, I am. And for those of you who hadn't quite started yet, I am. And for those of you who've gotten started, I am. Why? Because I can't believe that I started with a GED and that GED turned into a 4-year degree. Took me 12 years, guys. It took me 12 years, but Pastor would keep telling me, you are brilliant, you are special, Eric. Yes, you're different, and yes, you're not doing it the traditional route, but greatness is upon you. You gotta keep going, you gotta keep going, you gotta keep going. And the 12 years to get the 4-year degree turned into a master's degree. And the master's degree turned into a PhD. Guys, I can't believe it. From being a high school dropout, from being homeless, living in abandoned buildings, to eating out of trash cans, to Dr. Eric Thomas, to writing 6 books. Guys, are you hearing what I'm saying? Today, stop playing small and start playing big, because I am. I need you to want it as bad as you want to breathe. Listen to me very closely. Listen to me. When I wrote my dreams and my goals down, look, when I wrote my dreams and my goals down, take a look at it, guys. when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe. I'm telling y'all, the 4-year degree, the master's, the PhD, when I went after it, I'm showing y'all right where I graduated from. That's why I'm standing here, because I need y'all to see it. I need y'all to see where I walked across the stage. This is where I did it, y'all. I wanted it as bad as I wanted to breathe. I got up in the morning and I walked them down. Hear me before I get out of here. You ain't gotta, you ain't gotta have the best hand in life. I'm leaving you with this. You ain't gotta have the best hand in life. You ain't gotta start with the 2-parent background. You ain't gotta start with wealth. You ain't gotta start with your parents graduated. It's not the hand that you dealt. You got rich kids who own drugs. You got rich kids who committed suicide. You got rich kids who don't know their purpose in life. It's not the hand that you was dealt, baby. It's how you play your hand. It's your boy E.T. saying if it was easy to do, everybody would do it. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but you have what it takes if you listen it to make it happen. So do me a favor, get up, get out. For me, it's like when you get around people, when you spend enough time with people to see what people want, and then you give them what they need, to me, that's what it's all about, you know? So it's like, we gotta get out of this. This is what I want to talk about, or this is what I want to say, or this is how I want to, it's like, no, my idols, Mother Teresa. Like, I used just to watch her movement, right? And she was the lowest of the pecking order when you talk about preaching. She wasn't an archbishop, she wasn't a pope, she was a nun. Right. But yet you know who she is. And I would watch her and she would see, okay, here are the needs of the people. When I watched Martin Luther King, this dude could have easily been like a millionaire living he moved with the people and said, hey, I'm gonna give up my life and what I wanna do to help. So for me, it's like, you can't affect a person if you don't know what they want. So you gotta spend enough time with people, just chilling with people, hanging out with people. That's why I was geeked. It's like, it's not a studio. I'm like, yo, we're at Ed's crib. It's gonna be phenomenal just because the ethos, like we're in your house. This is where you live. Like it's energy already in the space, you know, and spirits, you know, already in the place. So for me, it's like, you gotta get to know the people, spend time with the people, and then once you find out what they need, you like a cow, you chew it up, chew it up, chew it up, chew it up. You study it, and then when you get to them, you give them what they need. And of course they're gonna be excited, it's because what they need.
When you look at a lion in the Serengeti, when the lion wakes up and the gazelle wakes up, they both have to run. Like, just because you're a lion doesn't mean you get to chill out. The gazelle's not gonna come to you and let it eat you. Right. You still gotta hunt, you still have to go get it. But the crazy part, when I did my homework, the gazelle is running for its life. The lion is running to hunt and to eat. So I realized there are a lot of people reading these books, listening to these different, motivational speakers, but they don't understand that you gotta go get it. So it's not enough to read it, it's not enough to understand it, it's not enough to get excited about it. Like literally, it has to transform you. And so I started realizing, like, yo, E, the problem is you have been working hard. You've been getting it, E. You've been putting forth 100%, not even put 120%. But guys, what I realize is not just what you do, E, it's effort and technique. So if you're lifting weights, but you're lifting them wrong, I mean, you can go lifting weights every day, but if your technique is off, like you don't know how to do it, then I'm not gonna get the same results you get doing the same exact exercise. So I realized, E, you gotta switch the effort. Like you can't give 80 on Monday, 90 on Tuesday, 120 on Thursday. Like every day you wake up, you got to keep that same effort. So I would notice when I would go to like watch Alabama play against maybe like a Mississippi State, I would notice that Alabama came out on fire in all 4 quarters. These boys are going. But I would notice Mississippi would come out strong, but if they went down by 14, you saw the body language change. They came back after halftime strong, 4th quarter, fatigue kicked in. And I started realizing, Cole, if I get 120, 1st quarter, 2nd quarter, 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, if my effort and my technique is both strong, nobody's gonna stop me. Why? Because the average person, Monday they come into work sluggish and they gotta drink their coffee, they gotta read their newspaper. I'm like, I got you beat. You didn't get started until 9 o'clock. I'm coming in at 120 at 8. And by 9 o'clock, when you get going, it's gonna take you to noon to get to 100. Then you gotta take a break, come back for lunch. I'm not taking off at lunch. Right. I'm not taking off at lunch. And then at 5 o'clock, you packing your bags at 4:30, getting ready to leave. I'm running not to the ribbon, I'm running through it. How many kids in this room,
There's some stuff you did, come on, Kenny. How about, what's the stuff you did when you was 18, 19 that you wouldn't have done if you weren't trying to impress nobody, if you was just being you? I'm thinking like, how many mistakes have we made trying to be what they want us to be? What if we could just be who we were? Like, what would we be doing if we weren't worried about them? So I'm challenging you. When you walk out of this room, I'm challenging you to do you. I'm challenging you to do you. Let me tell y'all something. I'm #1 motivational speaker in the world. Let me tell y'all why. We started the Advantage 2005. We blew up. I'm still doing the Advantage every Monday, every Tuesday at Michigan State University. People like, E, you blew up, you doing, listen to me, it's so bad, I'm telling the people that book my gigs, don't book no gigs on Monday. Try your hardest not to book no gigs on Monday. E, why? You got a chance to make thousands of dollars. Why would you do? No, I gotta stay close to the place that blew me up. I gotta stay, listen to me very closely. I'm just keeping it 100, y'all. As a company, we have blown up. There are people in our company, they used to do one thing, they're doing something totally different. I guarantee you I'm doing exactly what I was doing from day one. And the reason why some of you aren't successful is because the value you had that thing when you first started doing it, you don't have that same value no more. You don't treat that thing the way you used to treat that thing when you first got that thing. And so what God is saying is, I need you to change your perception, because once you change your perception, everything changes, son. Once you change your perception, the value changes. And once the value changes, the energy that you give it is totally different. So I always hear people again, they say, E, what's your why? People hear me say that. So I did the Kevin Durant boy, the video blew up. And so now, people are asking everybody, what's your why? What's your why? Mm-hmm. But I think that's the starting point, Cole. I was watching ESPN 30 for 30, and the video that I did on Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas, 30 for 30, they really did that video. The video I did, they turned it into a documentary. Mm-hmm. And it is the story of Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson. Nobody has ever beat him before. And when they asked the question, how, my mom died. And I told my mom I would beat Mike Tyson. Mm-hmm. Again, the next fight he lost to Evander Holyfield, and he never was a champion again. But that one day, he got knocked down, got back up. Why? Because of his mother. And I think, again, I want to show people, because the common theme is, you do it for a house, you do it for a car, you do it for a watch, you do it for, and I want to show people that whether you know it or not, everybody doesn't have the same why. God told me to tell you to stop making plates for people who just trying to take it to go. Write that down. No, God told me to tell you, stop making food for folks that just wanted to go plates. He told me to tell you that. There's somebody in the room, your life is screwed up because you making food for people who just wanted to go plates. I'm talking about your life, you are a great good person, you phenomenal, you got it going on, you making all these great meals, and it's a whole bunch of people coming to your house, and they got a to-go container, and they, listen to me very closely, my grandma taught me when I was young, my grandma had 14 kids who all had kids. And my grandma said, I will cut you. You can eat as much food as you want at the house. But if I swear if one of y'all little jokers take something out this house, you get in the business in front of your mama. In front of because I used to whip their butt, I'm whipping your butt too. With a switch. Don't take no food out of my house. You can eat as much as you want when you here, but do not pack a plate. And most of y'all running with people who, when you fix food, they come to your house and take it to go plate. They don't bring nothing. They not trying to help you. All they in your life to do is take.